The Experience Machine is a thought experiment proposed by Robert Nozick to investigate a fundamental dilemma, one between convenient pleasures and personal identity. The convenient pleasures are provided by a neurological apparatus. While your body floats in a tank, the machine sparks a perfect fantasy. You may want to be a hero, an outlaw, a doctor, a famous musician. Regardless, you're enveloped by the sensation of enjoying the episode. Artificial reality thought experiments are common in popular culture and in the history of philosophy, but what distinguishes this particular articulation is Nozick's library, which pushes convenience to the purified extreme. The library is a collection of lives and adventures that you can choose to live as though selecting from a menu. What's significant here is that individual initiative and effort is dropping towards zero. Not only are your desires satisfied while you float motionlessly in the tank, you don't even have to do the work of figuring out what your desires are. They're all pre-written for you in the experience someone else produced. There can't be any higher convenience. Your wants are satisfied, and what you want is also provided. The Experience Machine generates unadulterated pleasure, but it's a disaster for personal identity. First, there's the exchange of lived existence for a fantasy. If my body floats in a tank while electrodes light up my synapses, it's hard to see how this experience is really about me. Second, the fantasy isn't even mine. It's someone else's invention that's being played on my brain like a song on the radio. The conclusion is that convenient pleasures come with a question about personal identity. The feeling is great, but it's hard to know who is doing the feeling. The dilemma plays out in the real world too. One scene is the opium den. Opium degree narcotics offer easy pleasure, but also something more significant. Powerfully addictive drugs simplify the lives of their users by also providing what it is that they want. With addiction, convenience reaches the purity of the philosopher's speculations, because you no longer have to labor for the pleasure once you have the drugs, and you no longer have to labor to know what it is that's going to give you pleasure. Comparing opium dens with the Experience Machine comes with limitations, but it does provide a quick route to a simple decision. Is it worth sacrificing individual initiative, along with the intimacy of your private efforts and desires, for swelling pleasures absorbed effortlessly? Every major city has a street or two where opioid addicts gather and buy more. Frequently dirty, sometimes nearly toothless, they come close to incarnating a brain-in-the-vat reality, one where the body, dignity, and individual freedom are exchanged for ecstatic bliss. People driving past on their way to work spy out their car windows at the addicts laid out on the street and recoil in disgust. It's also true, though, that the same men and women who reject the ecstasy of the addicts will labor for 8 hours to pay for the wine or beer that provides only a hint of the nirvana that the addicts enjoy. Looking at the scene objectively and from the outside, it's difficult to be confident about whether it's better to be someone who pursues pleasure or to be a no one who, at least periodically, evaporates into it.